Hello and welcome to the Kilowatt Half Hour, a podcast about the world of EVs brought to you by the team at electrifying.com.
Oh, well, this week on the Kilowatt Half Hour, as we are melting in order to be with you today, we're going to be discussing Ford's plans to revive the Fiesta as an EV. Aions, how do we say that, Mike?
Either of those two would be acceptable, I believe.
Okay. Anyway, they're basically bribing us all with ice cream, which we are very down with at the moment. And also, we've seen the new Skoda Peaq. Plus, we'll tackle a Porsche versus Volvo buying dilemma and dive into all your comments. Hello, Mike. Hello, Nicola. How are we?
I'm slowly. Mike's having the time of his life, right? If you're not in the UK right now, we're currently in the midst of a horrendous heat wave. Yesterday, it was 37 degrees. Our houses are, if you're in America and you start going, 37's not that bad, our houses are not designed for it. Our houses are designed to contain heat, which means we're basically living in a sauna. Everybody is living in a sauna right now. And it's stupidly hot. So this podcast is coming at you live from Satan's armpit.
And we have such a differing opinion on this, don't we? Because Mike and I are like, oh, I love this. Bring it on. Bring it on. We are just like the heat people on the team. And you. And Manos, interestingly, Manos, who is Greek, is just like, I hate this. This is why I moved to the UK.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll be talking about the weather more a little later in the podcast because we did have some comments about it. And I am a bit concerned that this podcast is becoming one about EVs and the British weather. So shall we move on to what have we been driving and looking at and what's been going on, gang? Mike, go on. What have we been up to?
My buzz is back. So I've got rid of the T-Cross, T-Rock, I can't remember what it was, loan car. And so it's had all its battery updates and recalls and everything. And it seems to be working fine. I'm delighted to say, yeah. I mean, they said that they had it for 2 days, did all the software updates it needed. And as I was driving back from the dealer, the thing pinged up on the screen said, software update is available. So I was kind of slightly thrown to think, have you or haven't you? So anyway, I'm too scared to do it because I had a couple of long journeys to do. And I was slightly sort of scared that it might not work. So yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's been fine. It went slightly haywire yesterday afternoon. All of a sudden, suddenly started charging, even though it's plugged in and is told by both the charger and the wall box and the car rather to only take charge at midnight. It started at 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. So I can only imagine the heat got to it a bit sitting on the driveway. But,
I started doing all kinds of things at 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon when the heat got to me. So, I can't say I blame the poor.
I won't blame the car. But I did have a look around.
I have to say though, Mike, because we were all together, weren't we, at the barn on Tuesday for like a big team meeting day. And it was really nice seeing you rock up in the Buzz, seeing the Buzz pull in its bright yellow gloriousness. It was lovely to see again. I love the Buzz. Lovely.
It was nice. I was going to ride my motorbike there, but I just thought 37 degrees. I like the heat as discussed. But putting a full set of waterproofs and everything on and riding in that heat, I thought I've got a car with air conditioning, so choose your battles.
I'm proud of you for making that decision, Mike. Is it fair to say, Mike, that the Buzz is like the temperamental child out of your family of vehicles? Because I just feel like you kind of love the Buzz so much, but it also just infuriates you. And it is like that child that you love that is just kind of like drives you a bit mad and is always the one that doesn't do what they're supposed to do, but you love them so much anyway.
That was me as a kid, so
yeah.
Also me.
It's an unrequited love affair you have with the Buzz, I think. I throw all my love at it and it kind of occasionally just decides it's going to throw up a drive error or something like that. I would say, touch wood, it has been the first couple of months, it was really temperamental, and I don't know why it would settle down. I mean, it's software; it doesn't, it's not human. It doesn't sort of settle down or anything like that. It is, it's either on or off, isn't it? But it did stop playing up, and it has been very good since. So yeah, but it is, it is a bit frustrating sometimes.
It's part of its charm.
Yes, we'll put it that way, shall we?
Okay. Nobody's perfect.
Okay. So what have you been up to, Nick? What have you been? Have you been busy? You've been busy.
Lot of things going on. Well, I'm still in the Jeep Avenger, obviously, because that's my long term. But do you know what? I really like that car. I do.
Oh no, the new Manos. The new Manos.
I know. Well, it's just because it's a little bit rubbish, isn't it? It's a little bit rubbish, but I think that's kind of what makes it great. is that it's just this affordable little tinny machine. I mean, the sound system is terrible whenever I turn the music up. It's just, it's so tinny when you sit inside it, but I kind of like that. And I like the fact that, you know, I mean, the battery seems to be doing pretty well. I mean, I was stuck in horrendous traffic getting up to the barn on Tuesday. So I was getting like 4.8 miles per kilowatt hour. But then when I was driving home on the motorway on the way back, I was getting around 3.5. So I was like, that's all right. The hot weather's obviously working in its favor. But there's a bit of that going on. And then obviously the new Skoda Peaq video has gone out, which is nice, which we filmed ages ago, by the way. But obviously with VW Group cars at the moment, they're kind of drip feeding bits of information. And then sometimes we might film something back in, I don't know, whenever it was, May or something. And then they're kind of, the embargoes are coming out bit by bit. But the Skoda Peaq video is officially out and on our YouTube channel. So you can go and have a peek at the Peaq.
Oh, I like what you did there.
It's very nice. It's very nice. It's a bit good. I mean, I haven't driven it properly yet, but just being sat inside it, the quality of materials, the way that everything just worked, and it just felt like a really lovely place to be. And even in the rear seats, the rearmost seats, like right at the back. I mean, Manos didn't have any leg room because he's 6'2", but I had a little gap. I had a little gap between my knee and the seat, so there's space there.
And it's so often the case that those rear seats just feel like an afterthought. And I think that's the thing that we've all loved about the Kia EV9 is that you do not feel like the second class passenger back in the second row. They are comfy seats. You know, you have got your charging ports, you have room. I mean, like you said, I'm not sure Mike's going to love the rear. Have we ever made you sit in the back of the very rearest seats of the EV9? No.
Okay, let's do that.
Let's do that.
Let's
do that on a really hot day.
Let's do that. Yeah, great idea.
That tomorrow. Pick you up about midday, Mike. In it, is that all right?
Yeah, I'm busy.
No.
When is it?
Okay.
When is it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Very nice. And then what? So you've also been to see the Audi, haven't you? The Q4, which is like a massive seller, that car, isn't it? And it's a car that I don't know. It sells huge numbers, but I always feel it's something that we forget a little bit because it's been around quite a while now, so it's had a facelift. So what did you make?
Well, 2021 was when the first one came out, and it is. I mean, Audi was saying to us when we were there that it is that the UK is the biggest market for the Q4 e-tron. Most people go for the SUV rather than the Sportback, and it's a huge seller for them. But now it's had a little facelift, so you've now got a new grille at the front. And then the battery tech has had a little bit of an update. It still drives pretty much exactly the same. It feels exactly the same as the previous version, which is not a bad thing because it's always driven well anyway. But like the battery tech's had an update. The charging has had an update as well. So again, that video has gone up on our YouTube channel. That was filmed in Munich last week, and that was 34 degrees that day. So me and John T were a sweaty mess. And obviously, right, here's a bit of behind the scenes for you, right? So when we film the interiors of cars, if we have the fans on, it affects the sound and you can't hear what's going on very well. You can just hear this blowy, annoying thing going on. So, of course, whenever we film an interior of a car, we normally tend to turn the fans off. And when you're filming in 34-degree heat, I was so disgustingly clammy and sweaty. It was gross. So I think part of that made the video in the end, actually, of me going, I know I have to turn the fans off and I'm not happy about it. So let's just get this done as quick as possible. But it's a good car. It's a decent car. It's a decent car.
You see, if you'd have really thought this through, you could have got what could you have got? Could you have got like one of those really silent fans? Like, although it's useless, I've got a silent fan in front of me now, so you probably can't hear it, but it's actually blowing out very little air. But you could have plugged one of those into the vehicle to load because it now comes with vehicle to load, doesn't it? So they finally got up with the 21st century and every other EV in the world.
Yes, well, they do. They have a plug socket in the boot, and then they have the adapter that can go into the charge port as well, which is nice. So well done catching up. I think the new charging speeds of the Q4 e-tron I still don't think is quick enough.
No, it's
considering because it's gone up to 185 kilowatts. But you know, I mean, you look at the competition, and they've all got 800 volt. Like the amount of detail that people have put into their cars now, and the rapid charging that you can get now, especially in German brands, what Mercedes offer, what BMW offer. Why are Audi not offering that as well? It's very annoying.
I would completely agree with you. So I did the Zeekr 7 GT, the driving impression. Well, the video is live now, and it drives really well. Honestly, I had really nice 3 or 4 hours driving that in the mountains around Rhondda. But like you say, it's the charging speed. It's a 400 kilowatt peak DC charging. So looking at the competitors set around that, it's the Audi A6 e-tron Avant, it's probably the ID7 Tourer, 200 kilowatts on the ID7 Tourer, 270 on the A6 e-tron Avant, and they're just not getting there with those speeds, are they? And I know this is something we've talked about on the pod before, and for me, increasingly now, I don't necessarily want a car I can drive for 5 hours. I want one that I can top up quickly in, and I really think this is going to become something that is going to be a real selling point for cars, much more than range. But let us know what you think, as always, in the comments below. I just want to talk about another car that I've been driving. Driven the BYD Atto too for the first time. Yeah, okay. That's my face.
Look at this face I've made.
I know. Do you know what? It's perfectly fine. And I'm going to apologise now, because I'm sure there will be some of you listening to this podcast who have bought one. You probably got it for a great price. You're loving all the spec. You're loving the fact it's got vehicle to load as standard. And it comes with, I think, does it get 22 kilowatt AC charging? I think it might do as standard. I'm probably going to be proved wrong on that, but maybe I do. Maybe I do. Oh, no, it's a heat pump. It's got a heat pump as standard. That's it. I knew it had some decent standard kit. Oh, yeah. It's just kind of like, some there, isn't it? There.
Yeah.
It feels. Do you know in the early days of EVs, and you'll remember this, Mike, as well. People were all like, "Oh, they're just basically appliances on wheels," and then all these great cars came out that proved that of course they're not. This does feel like an appliance on wheels.
It's such a shame when you consider what else BYD can offer. Well, you know what they're capable of.
Like the little Dolphin Surf, love that. Fun little thing. The
Seal.
Seal is a cracking car.
Love it. Yeah.
I just was really underwhelmed with it. And and it's just very grey. So they seem to only offer it in like some kind of very bland colours. The infotainment screen, when you've got a black interior, and BYD do have that very sort of grey and white infotainment system, don't they? That is quite bland. It just feels very beige. It's beige. It's a beige car. Anyway,
because you can even change within the software, you can like change your backgrounds and stuff on your main screen, but most of the options for the backgrounds are just grey.
Great, I know, and it's just kind of fine to drive. It's got plenty of space, and when you're sort of saying, well, it's very spacious, it's got decent amount of space, you're basically saying it's the automotive equivalent of somebody that's got a good personality, and it's that, isn't it? Yeah. Have you driven it, Mike, the Atto 2? Or have you just forgotten that you drove it? No. Maybe you've forgotten.
I drove it briefly. Yeah, I mean, I kind of...
Briefly. Briefly is the key word in that sentence, Mike. Love that.
I think it's a degree of... A lot of people don't care as much as we do, perhaps, about the things we care about. And it is a lot of times it is purely a cost-driven decision to buy a car. And I think that's what that car possibly scoops up in the marketplace, and there's a place for everything. But I agree with you. I wouldn't be on my list, but that's not to say it's it's not effective at what it does. But I agree with you. I mean, I think we were talking about the Ferrari the other day, and there was a quote, an old designer quote that resurfaces that good design costs the same as bad design. And it seems a shame that something is quite so almost as willfully dull as that. But anyway,
yeah, it is, and it's only got 155 kilowatt hour charging on the big battery, and even less on the small, which also is like, okay, right. So let's move on. Sorry, I feel like we're maybe a little mean there, but that was that's Mike, anything else you want to drop in before we move on to the news stories? Anything else that's caught your eye that you've driven or seen?
I had a good look around the Grande Panda that we had up at the barn. Vicky bought that. She kept very quiet about it until she almost parked it around the corner, didn't she? She didn't almost.
Yeah, she did.
She wants to have a look at it. Yeah. But it was.
She knew we'd all get excited.
It's a very base level. It's the base level trim, so it comes with the white steel wheels. It's a very nice sort of fetching aqua color, which is actually an option. But it's the bum basic one that they have. And fair play to Fiat putting that on the fleet, because often car manufacturers tend to put mid and top spec cars on the fleet and don't put any base ones on there. So it was an interesting thing. I don't know how many people. I'll be interested to know what people think about steel wheels. because I was
I
talking
love
to
steel wheels.
I
But
was
is it
talking to
just
Volks-
us?
I
Is
was
it
talking to a
us?
Volkswagen engineer a year or so ago, and he said if we listen to journalists, all we'd build is estates with manual gearboxes and steel wheels, and we'd sell none of you. We'd sell no cars because that's the only cars that journalists want.
And we want them to be green as well, because
Yeah.
we really like green cars, all of us.
Love a green. Yeah.
So that in the end they'll sell an SUV with a DSG gearbox, and they'll sell loads of those on very expensive, easy to curb alloy wheels. But that's what the market wants.
I actually don't care if I never drive a car with a manual gearbox again. I have no. I'm kind of over that now. I've moved on.
I'm with you. Well,
Completely.
we've got some comments about that later. So
Okay.
yes, it'll be interesting to
Well,
see.
I
let's move
completely
on.
disagree with both of you, but that's
Okay. Let's move on to the news, shall we? So, news stories of the week. Mike, what have you got to hit us with? Come on. You're the one doing all the work this week, basically, aren't you, Mike? Nicola and I just melting. So
that's fine.
You're the designated grown up on the podcast.
As always, indeed. Yeah. Sam has written a very good story. Just a reminder that the Fiesta is coming back as an EV. Which we kind of knew anyway, but Ford's signed a deal a while ago to use two Renault platforms, to build two cars on Renault platforms, unspecified as yet. But we know one of them, the small one, is going to be the Fiesta. Obviously, the background to that is that Ford stopped making the Fiesta. Is it a couple of years ago now? Feels like it was last year, but it may have been the year before.
A couple of years, A
couple of years ago. It's so expensive for them to make. They used to make it in Europe. The margins on small cars are absolutely tiny, and you have to sell an absolute ton of them to make any money. And Ford was selling loads more of the Puma, which was the SUV based on the Fiesta platform. So they saw electric coming down the line. So let's cut our losses. So the new Fiesta is going to be based on the Renault 5 platform. Good news for you two is that it won't be like a Nissan Micra. It won't just be a rebadge.
Yes.
Very good.
It will have their own body. So I think the industry terms a top hat, in so much as you use someone else's platform and you build your own hat on top of it. So that's what it's going to be.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So will it?
I'll allow it.
So will it be called, so because it's called a Fiesta, will it actually look like a Fiesta, or are they just going to slap a Fiesta badge on it and make it look like a car that looks nothing like we ever remember a Fiesta being, as they have done with the Capri?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess they're kind of they could see how well retro stuff's gone, and what if they made the new one look like a modern version of the first generation Fiesta? What if they tried to sort of capture a bit of that? Because Ford, about the only brand who hasn't gone down that retro route to sell any cars, isn't it? So
I just don't think Ford are up for doing that. I don't think they're fun enough.
You're not thinking?
No, I don't think
they play it safe.
They really do. I mean, I would love that. I'm actually just looking at one now. I've just put, and as you've said it, oh yes, just a Mark 1 Fiesta. Let's do it like that, please. But they won't.
Ooh,
It'll be
then they
bloody.
can make a little ST. That would be lovely.
Yeah.
Well, my our understanding is that RS might come back because I guess it's kind of putting two and two together, isn't it? Because you could just use the Alpine bits and bolts.
Yeah, exactly.
And stick that into that. So it's it writes itself. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, but it's going to be at least 18 months away. Is that too late? I mean, the Renault 5 is going to be out.
That's ages.
We'll be on the second gen Renault 5 by then.
Yeah.
You know, we'll have all the VW Group little cars. There'll be even more fun stuff coming. And it'll just be like, and they're not going to make it like a Mark 1 Fiesta as much as we beg them to. My suspicion is it will come along and it'll just be a bit like, oh yeah, okay, well it's cheap and it gets the full grant, if there is a grant then, because it's built in Europe. Sadly, I would love it not to be that. I pray it's not that, but that's my strong suspicion.
What I noticed though about people that drive Fords is they drive a Ford and they stay with Ford for life, basically.
Yes.
They're proper passionate about staying with their Ford, like because you tend to get a good deal with Ford if you then change it every 3 years and stick with Ford. So if you started with a Fiesta, then you'll upgrade to a Puma. Then if you've suddenly got kids, you're probably going to I don't know, get a petrol Cougar or something and get an Explorer, and then eventually as you get older then you downgrade again back to a Fiesta. So people just tend to stick with what they know, and they tend to do that all the time with Ford. So I think they'll sell them to the Ford fans. They will.
Well, they'll sell them because they'll make them cheap. Because if you look, the Ford Puma, it sold out, didn't it? The electric Puma sold out because it was the first car to get the full government grant. And we've had that car in loads, and it's another perfectly fine car. It's
I
absolutely
quite like it.
but it's okay. But
Yeah.
it wouldn't be even in the top 10 on my list of cars if I was looking for something like that. And I think this is Ford's problem, as Mike said. I just think they're not doing any of this quick enough. It's like, guys, China are building cars in 18 months, and even Europe now. The Twingo was built in 2 years. Like, the world is really changing. We'll have a new E208 by then. We'll have the new electric Corsa. These brands are thinking more about design than Ford is. So I do actually really worry for Ford in the bigger long-term picture, because I just don't know if they're getting it enough, if they're exciting enough. But I don't know. Maybe it's just an us thing. Let us know. What do you think in the comments below?
It's interesting how they're doing it by sharing platforms with so many different brands. I mean, you look at the Explorer, you look at the Capri, and that's all shared with VW. And now they're going to do the Fiesta shared with Renault. And it's like, what are they going to make their own thing eventually?
And the van, and the Transit. Transit's Volkswagen, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, they're not going to do their own thing. They're just going to keep copying everybody else's homework.
Yeah. Copy paste.
Although I should technically point out that the Transporter is the rebadged Transit rather than the other way around, but that's just me being pedantic. It's Ford's design.
That's why you're here.
I get that. Okay, I do get that. All right, sorry. I stand correct. Okay, what else have you got for us in the news, Mike, that we can rant about? I love we're all hot and sweaty and ranty, Nicola. I'm liking this.
Yes. The heat makes me angry.
Oh.
It's quite cool here, but I didn't want to say that in case you started throwing things.
Please don't ever say that again. Thank you. Carry on.
Would you two like an ice cream?
Yes,
I would.
Well, you can, but there's a catch. You've got to go and take a test drive of an Aion 5, because in a combination of circumstances that not even the most optimistic Aion boss could have envisaged, the Aion 5 comes with what's called a cool box thing. I can't remember the name. It's called a cool hot box. Okay, and it's an option as part of a package on the Aion 5. And get this right, but it cools down to -15 and heats up to +50. So you can keep, if you suddenly need to keep a bag of frozen peas cold on a journey, or make sure that your bargain bucket stays warm by the time you get home, obviously not at the same time, you can use this this box. And the Aion's marketing team have woken up the fact that it's a Heatwave this week and offering free ice creams, unspecified. But on the press release picture they sent out, it looks like those kind of orange lollies that your mum used to buy because they were cheap from B-Jam.
Oh,
they were just
the ones that used to be like 50p.
And it's also melty. It's also a bit melty on the press picture.
Just like mildly flavoured water. That's
which is. But you can see like all the orange lollies started to melt within.
It's defrosted a few times, hasn't it? Yeah.
So that's not really inspiring me. Can I just also point out?
Yeah.
Sorry, go on, Mike. I was just going to point out. We're not going to tell everybody about this, but you really, really must go, 100% must go and check out this story at electrifying.com in the news section that Mike wrote, if only because of the main picture. And I'm not going to tell you what it is.
I know the picture.
Utterly brilliant. And it made me literally spit my tea out when I looked at it this morning. Was like, what's this story about the free ice creams? Oh my God. So please do go and check that out, electrifying.com in the news section. Mike, all I've got to say is you are genius. That was Mike's work. It's brilliant.
It's what he does.
It's what he does. He's so good at that.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, you were going to say we're what ice lolly would you like, Mike, there to be in there? Go on.
Well, something of premium quality, maybe a Magnum, something like that. Something that's a proper lolly, I feel like.
Do you like a white Magnum or like an almond Magnum?
I'm not fussy, but I mean, probably an almond Magnum would be nice, wouldn't it? But maybe the higher spec ones, you get that, and on the sort of entry level car, you get the kind of Iceland lollies.
Yeah. And in the mid spec, you get like a Twister or something.
A Solero in the middle, yeah.
Oh, I love a Solero, yes.
But then you also get the benefit, don't you, of a few hours air conditioning, because it boosts that on an lolly. So maybe it will boost sales. I don't know. Maybe we need to chat with them next week and just see how many uptakes they got on the ice lolly promotion. Is an ice lolly enough to make you want to go to your local Aion dealership?
Well, there's only 8 of them, so I might have a distance to go and drive to find one. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay.
Good.
On to the next. What else have we got?
Right, well, I just wanted to double check that we've covered all the videos that have gone live lately. But the Mégane, the Mégane's gone live.
Oh yes,
the new Renault Mégane. I mean, that's a very chaotic video, by the way, because our flight got delayed and it ate into our time with the car. So I had 10 minutes and we did it all in one take. But she has had a facelift because everyone tends to forget that the Mégane exists because Renault are churning out such good stuff at the moment. So, you just think of the Renault 4, the Renault 5 and the Twingo and all that kind of stuff. So you're like, oh yeah, there's the Mégane. I forgot about the Mégane. Oh. So it's had a very, very mild facelift. I mean, you can kind of see the difference on the front end, maybe a little bit at the rear. And the battery has also had a mild update, but I think they've just kind of done it just to kind of remind everybody that the Mégane exists. Yeah.
I'm here. Don't look at all the shiny new things. I'm still here.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But that's up on YouTube as well, so you can have a look at that.
Okay, good stuff. We got should I do a Barnard's bargain for you all?
Yeah, go for it.
Do it.
Of the week. Okay. On a lease. Okay, this is a new one. Oh, because the new one has just been announced. Sorry, I've read that completely wrong because I'm very hot. So it is a Polestar 4, 200 kilowatt. Sorry, I'm reading this really wrong because I'm so hot. I can't even read. It's basically a Polestar 4 long-range single motor. So there are some bargain leases on the outgoing model because there is a new one announced, and that is from £410 a month. You are putting down £3,691 over 36 months, 8,000 miles, and they have them in stock. Now, we have quite a lot of people that we know, and including Ben on the team who has one, and quite a few friends of mine have snapped up Polestar 4s this year on decent finance deals. So that is not a bad deal, is it? What do you reckon to that one, you two? And Nicola, you're not allowed to answer this. Just nod. Just go, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move on. We've got another one for you. MG5. Right, this is what I love because...
Remember the MG5.
Remember the MG5. I always remember Wookie saying in his video of the MG5, this car is just like a hammer.
Yeah,
and
that was a really good intro, yeah.
And it was a great intro, and I can't remember why. I think it was to do with the functionality, but go and check out that video because it still does really good views. That's one of the very first videos we made on the YouTube channel. And it is that brilliant line, this car is like a hammer. And I can't remember why he thinks it's like a hammer, but it's great. Anyway, MG5s are now coming in under that magic £10,000 mark on the used market.
That's great.
Honestly, the number of used cars now that are good cars that you can get for under 10k, that's making me really happy. So we've got one in the used listings at the moment. Over at electrifying.com/used cars, I think. It's 115 kilowatt exclusive. It's got the 61 kilowatt hour battery. It's a 2021 done just under 40,000 miles. 10,000. I know it's £10,357. So, but it's
you could haggle that last 400
you
quid
could
off.
haggle that. You could haggle that. You could haggle that.
Yeah.
You don't have
all one previous owner, and 250 miles of range. That is a lot of car for that money, and it's a car that actually I think even now we would all say really good solid car that we do all like. Agreed?
Yeah. And also by looks of things quite reliable because there's a lot of I mean down here in Sussex where I live, and also I've spotted in London a lot of cabbies use them. And they do so many miles in them, and a lot of cabbies tend to use them around here. So there's a bit of reliability going on there, which is good.
Yeah.
So yeah, good purchase.
Good. Right, should we say hello to our electric virgin of the week?
Yes.
Yep.
So this is
it's almost a virgin.
Almost a virgin. Almost an electric virgin of the week. This is from Roger Longdon, who emailed in. And if you do want to drop us an email, that's podcast@electrifying.com. Roger says, I'm pleased to say that you've now become a staple of my weekly pod tune-ins. Thanks for the time and energy you put into it. Yay! Thank you. Leave us a comment. Recommend us on the podcast platform thing. What do we have to say here, Nick? You're better at this than me.
Just to subscribe. If you're listening, then click the follow button. If you're watching, click subscribe. We love the comments because it's good for the algorithm. Click the bell button. Then you get notifications every time a new video goes live, and tell your friends.
What she said. Brilliant.
That.
And Ginny, great headmistress energy, keeping everyone in check. That's what my mum was. My mum was a
There you go.
headmistress.
Was she?
The
Right.
apple doesn't fall far from the tree, does it? Obviously.
Is that what basically my role now is at Electrifying? I'm just like everybody. I'm like the head teacher of you all, am I?
Yeah, I do get scared when you walk into the room sometimes. Like I've definitely probably done something wrong and you're going to tell me off.
Anyway, thank you for that. I am really happy, Roger, that you've noticed my headmistress energy. Nicola clearly was and still is the mischievous one at the back of the class. And yes, that is true. You absolutely nailed
I can't
the
argue with that.
dynamics. You nailed them. Although, to be fair, I was also the naughtier one at the back of the class at school, much to my mum's dismay, because she was the headmistress, not of my school. Anyway, Roger is not an EV virgin, far from it. He's now on his 4th car with a plug, but he's now gone Chinese. This is why we've included Roger, and onto a Changan Deepal SO7 because A, it actually looks pretty good. Not like an appliance jelly mold, like a Tesla or an Xpeng or other cars that we may mention. B, it is amazing value for money. I got on a business lease, 12,000 miles, £295 down, £295 a month for 3 years, less than half of what he was paying for the Cupra.
Wow.
Yes, Barnard, that's a bargain.
Also, the quality of service from my dealer in Accrington has been exceptional. So there you go. I know you can't hurl a cat without hitting a new Chinese brand coming on the market. So please give a shout out to all of us Changan drivers. Much love from the north, Roger. There's a lot to love about that email. I love the fact that you're from Aki. Because one of my ex-boyfriend from years ago, he was actually my fiance for a while, played for Aki Stanley. Accrington Stanley. Accrington Stanley. Yeah, absolutely. And also, I love Aki. Oh, Roger, that's so nice. But also, great deal, that, isn't it?
Really good deal, that. That's
amazing,
brilliant. Yeah.
So
Fair play to
bravo
you.
and welcome, Roger. And do feel free to let us know if you are just onto your 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th EV. We'd like to find the person who has owned the most EVs. Should we set that challenge to everyone?
Yeah, do it. Yeah, do it. Yeah.
So what was Roger on? Roger is the current leaderboard.
It's on his 4th. Yeah.
4th.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to start a leaderboard, which will give somebody a real headache in the graphics department. But let's have a leaderboard. And so far at the moment, we have Roger from Accrington, who is on his 4th EV.
Okay.
I spoke at the Octopus conference on Monday. So Octopus Energy had a really cool, like a sort of a green tech day, and they had some amazing people speaking. There was like Jimmy Whale from Wikipedia, and they had Tim Peaq, and Boris Johnson was there. So I'm not sure whether we think he's amazing or not. I'll leave that up to you lot to decide. But I was also there, obviously not so amazing as some of those people. But it was brilliant because there was a guy in the front row who was onto his, I think it was his 6th EV that I was having a bit of a chat to. So let us know what you are onto, how many, what your EV tally is, and we'll start a leaderboard.
EV body count. Yeah.
I didn't want to say that, Mike, but I knew. I actually thought Nicola might say that, but Mike,
EV notch on the bedpost is how my brain instantly went.
You've both slightly gone down in my estimation, both of you.
I've been watching Love Island, so I'm in that wrong kind of mindset.
Oh, you filthy bugger!
I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little disappointed in you both.
Why?
Just saying. Well, I just
do you not just expect it by now?
Yeah,
surely,
it was all quite a nice, pleasant podcast, wasn't it? And you're just bringing the tone down just a little.
Yeah,
just a little.
Yeah, but it's got to be done, though, isn't it? Right. I have a reader question of the week. So it says, "Hello, Ginny and Nicola." I'm also going to include Mike in that because obviously it was just a reply to when we did the podcast together. So, hello, Ginny, Nicola, and Mike. Thank you for your incredibly helpful and entertaining reviews. I look to you for electrifying guidance. Like that very much. Money aside, would you buy a Porsche Cayenne electric base or S or a Volvo EX60? That's a huge question. I would also consider a BMW iX5 electric, but it seems that the cows will come home before it comes out. Also, I would love to see a button that would instantly reveal only cars that sold in the USA. Sorry about Trump. I think it would be dramatic. I think it would dramatically increase interest from across the pond. Love you both. I'm going to say love you all. From Dan Nadal. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan. Oh, that's such a good question. I've got news on the BMW iX5 electric. It's quite a long time off still, but we will be seeing and I think driving it in the autumn. So, it's on its way.
Well, I can tell you, so I've driven the new Cayenne electric and it's utterly fantastic. It's a really fantastic, really brilliant, lovely, excellent car. That's my point of view on it. I haven't driven the EX60, so I can't make that comparison. So Ginny, you're going to have to tell us what that's like.
Yeah. Do you know what? They're really different. I think they're different cars.
Yeah, they are.
It's quite obviously different, but they've got such a different vibe, haven't they?
Mm.
And also, I haven't as yet driven the Cayenne electric.
No.
So this is where it is quite difficult for us to be objective, because I've obviously spent quite a lot of time in the Volvo EX60. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think it's one of the best cars Volvo's ever built. Certainly the best electric car they've built. And also, I would say one of the best cars they've ever built. The interior is beautiful. It drives so well. And I don't want to jinx things, and I'm going to touch the table because it's made of wood when I say this, but honestly, the tech stack was fantastic on it. The tech and the software worked amazingly. So they've got a whole new tech stack on this, a whole new software stack that they've developed, and it's brilliant. And the ADAS systems, which used to drive me mad in the in Volvos, just generally, because they always felt a bit like reactive and got things wrong. Oh my goodness me, it's so smart. So for me, it's difficult, because I think the EX60 is possibly one of the best electric cars on sale at the moment. There we go.
Well, I think the Cayenne is one of the best electric cars at the moment, from driving it and experiencing it. I do think that the turbo is the best one that you can buy, but I think the base or the S is still very, very good. And if you can opt for that rear axle steering, you are onto a winner. And I just think it's utterly brilliant. So I hope this helps, Dan.
Do you know what? Why don't we do a twin test just for Dan? Should we do a twin test?
This is just for Dan. If you're not Dan, go away. This is just for Dan. We want one view on this video only.
No, we just need Dan. No, we can't do that, because we actually need Dan to watch it like 250,000 times to get the views up. So if we make this video for you, Dan, you've got to promise us you'll watch it 250,000 times.
Or maybe we just go around his house.
It's in America. I'd do that.
It's just an excuse to go to America, though.
Absolutely. Right, we're going to do a twin test on that.
Yeah,
let's do it. Right, put it on the list. On the list, Dan. If you can hang on, we'll try and get those cars in, which wouldn't be till the autumn, actually, because I don't think the Volvo's not here in the UK until August, I think. So we'll do, but that's a good twin test. Let us know also what other twin tests you'd like to see.
Special for Dan.
Think of us as your like personal shoppers. That's what we are. We're your electrifying.com personal shoppers. Yeah. If you've got a dilemma on this car or that car, this or that will help you decide.
Lovely.
Okay. Mike, do you want to just take a view on that? You've driven neither of them, so which should Dan buy? Which have we sold the best?
Yeah, well, I'll end up offending one of you, don't I, if I choose one over the other.
Just think
you sit on that fence, Mike. You sit on that fence.
I've got splinters in my arse from sitting on the fence. Right, he said money aside, so I'll have both. There we go. Job done.
Oh, fair enough.
Okay, fair enough. Right. Okay, let's return to the old manual versus automatic debate. So this was about... Oh, a lot of comments. This was about us saying, my son wanting to learn in a manual. And I was like, I'm just saying to him, just do it in the automatic, love. You'll pass first time. It'll be dead easy. And then you can, I didn't say he should never learn in a manual, because he will want to drive some classic cars. His dad's got like an old Mini that I know he'll want to drive. And, I know he will. But I just think for ease, get yourself in a manual. Anyway, we've had a lot of comments. Thanks to James England 7461, who in caps, I love the ones in caps. Ginny, teach your son to drive a manual. He will cherish that bonding time forever. He may, but I don't know if I will. I don't know if I'm up for the job, but anyway, yes. Daddy Coolio, he wants to learn in a manual so one day he can drive a classic car, same as my son, who's already saving for his Mark 1 MX-5, and what a car to save for. Pop-up headlights. I used to own one of those.
Nice.
Where's the electric Mazda MX-5? Just saying, Mazda, come on, get with it. Yeah. Where is that car? Auto Trawler, I'm with your son, Jenny, and every driving car enthusiast. Every driving car enthusiast should know how to drive a manual. And most of the cheap to buy and insure cars are manual, although that is changing massively. Oh gosh, there were a lot. Somebody else wants to take some. I'm a bit hot now.
How sad that Mike doesn't want to drive a manual, says Simbad3304. Here's an idea. Why not employ some real car people rather than someone who clearly has no interest in the automotive industry?
In automotive history, in fact. Mike?
As you know, I'm very much a Johnny come lately to this car business. I've only been working in it sort of 30 years, but yeah,
not long.
no, do you know what? And you alluded to it earlier, Ginny. I mean, I'm past it. I had this. I mean, this was all triggered because I had a loan car that had a manual gearbox in it, and I sat there looking at it for a couple of minutes just to work out. It must have been 15 years since I've driven a car with a manual gearbox, and what a faff! Honestly, what a faff! I mean, I'm sure driving a Mark 1 MX-5 manual was probably lovely, or a 911, but a 3-cylinder, 115 horsepower Volkswagen with a manual gearbox was horrible. Yeah. And I'd be happy never to drive another one again.
Absolutely. And I'm completely with you in that it's to do with the car, right? There are certain cars, absolutely. But I don't want my daily driver to be a manual anymore. No. Nicola's got her hand up. Go on, Nicola. Yeah. Are you going to be controversial now?
I love a manual. And I think I always will love a manual. Obviously, driving electric over the last few years, it's just been automatic only. And every now and again, I get a craving. And so I've currently got a Toyota GR86 on the drive, so that I could have a little bit of fun when I head up to Silverstone.
Yeah, but that's a fun manual.
But that's a fun manual. But if they released like a normal electric, if the Avenger was an electric car with a manual gearbox that had like a fake manual gearbox, I'd take it and I would drive it, and I think I would enjoy it because I love. Yeah. If I enjoy feeling more involved in the experience of drive, I enjoy changing the gears myself and feeling like I'm fully connected to that car rather than literally just sitting and putting my foot down and then putting my foot on the brake. I love changing the gears and I love all of that. So if more of that with actual gear knobs, you've got me. 100%.
You are. That is coming though. There are now steer-by-wire manual gearboxes. So there is absolutely now the possibility that you can have an EV with a steer-by-wire manual gearbox that you can also then just put into auto mode.
I'll take it.
Mike's shaking his head. He's shaking his
head.
Anyway.
A gearbox is a device to make up for the inadequacies of the revolutionary cycles of an internal combustion engine. It's a thing to fix a problem. So it's not a kind of device.
Well,
I mean, where do we stop?
By the amount of comments, I think everyone's going to be on my side of this conversation. So
where do we stop? Are we adjusting valve clearances as well? That's the old days. I mean, I'd like the manual gearbox in the same way I like a vinyl record. It's nostalgic. It's fun, but I don't want to live with it.
But trust me, we are going to have steer-by-wire, so you will be able to have that. That is absolutely going to be a thing. We had a couple more, didn't we, that just agreed. Should we just do the agreeers? My Octarain. My partner passed his test in March. Since we are only likely to own an EVs, he took an automatic test, passed first time with 0 faults. Brilliant, congrats to you. But he's also destroyed the alloy rears on the up. Maybe not so good. And NR 5494, how ridiculous that VW have petrol manuals as courtesy cars. This is a really good comment, actually. They're clearly using the cars nobody wants, but why on earth not give non-EV owners the chance to try an EV? Isn't that? I mean, yes.
Yeah, it is. But I have asked this before when my BMW used to go in for a service. They used to give me a diesel something or other. And I said, why don't you give EVs? He said, because most people are terrified of EVs. He said, and they all bring them back. They walk out to the car park, see they've been given an EV and come back and say, I can't drive that. I need what, So they said they just don't bother with that anymore. They just think, it's easier to have.
They won't be doing it much longer if you've got all the youngsters learning how to drive in.
This is true.
Automatic only. I mean, my niece is now learning how to drive. She's done automatic only. My 2 other nieces learnt to drive in an EV. So now they only drive EVs, both their cars are EVs. And it just seems like, unless you are a car person or connected to car people and wanting to be a car enthusiast, then it seems like, everyone's just learning automatic, aren't they?
Yep.
Which makes me
Shall we move on?
Yes. Yeah. Because we are.
Okay.
We have been recording a long time now, by the way. Yeah.
Should we do one more subject?
One more.
EV apps. We discussed this last week, and to my horror, I discovered that Ginny doesn't really use the app. I don't think you do either, do you?
Not really, no.
Nicola. Okay. So we've been taken to task, obviously. Alistair Hughes says, everyone I know, everyone he knows, uses their apps. I have a Kia. My friend has a Hyundai, another a Tesla, another Skoda, and we all use the apps, okay? And
everyone.
App Bubble Wrap, literally everybody knows. Anyone he sees in the street, they all use an app. App Bubble Wrap Me says, on the subject of apps, could you please include app functionality, functions, reliability, connectivity with your reviews? I'm concerned there are several EVs with very poor apps. This is a good point. And I think it works for long-termers, you two aside, because it is quite a key part of car ownership. But when we have cars for a week, setting things up for the app, and some of them you require a credit card to register with, with a provider, that kind of thing. It is an almighty faff to start with. So often when two of us drive a car and we switch cars after a day or something like that, or we only really drive them for the location, that kind of thing, we just don't have the time to do that. And also, it's practically impossible to do with setting up accounts and all this. Kind of, you have to close an account and the card.
And sometimes we literally just do not give it. We can't, because there are login codes and there are users, and they just don't give them to us.
For guest mode, that sort of thing.
So this is the problem, that it's not always. In fact, should we read out the next one? I feel like the next one's relevant to this.
Grisman 994 says, somewhat disappointed that you can't be bothered to install the apps for the cars for an extended period, except when the cars have an extended period. Apps are a key part of the ownership experience, and a bad one would be a factor in making a purchase decision. Please read this out.
We have read it out, and it's not. We can't. That's not what we said. No, it's not. But it's also not what we said. We didn't say we couldn't be bothered.
No.
So when I have a long termer, I'll always install the app. Okay. If we're given the lot, we'll always do that. Particularly when it's a long term run. The point we were making was that personally, I don't use them as much because, and certainly, I think I was talking about the Renault 5 in that the functionality in that was just so good for what I needed to do. I didn't actually find myself using the app because it was set to charge every night on my off-peak. It was set ready to go in the morning when I needed it to go, at the temperature I needed it. All that was actually done from in the screen. And I know that as a group, and probably a lot of people listening to this podcast, you are that sort of deeper level of knowledge of EVs. But I cannot tell you the number of my mates who have gone into EVs and even if I say it's a really good app, you should try it, they don't want the faff, they don't use it. So it was simply a point that there's apps are fantastic and they do great stuff, and of course we try them. But there are still a lot of people out there who might download it and might just not use it. So I think that was the point we were making, not that we're too lazy to download them. So please don't think that, because that's not.
Yes. Well said.
Okay. What does that mean?
I don't know, it's just nicer than a clap.
I like that. Do we click when we do something good?
Well, no, this is a thing
that like Ginny the headmistress now. Mike Nicola?
It's a thing. It's a thing that like Gen Z does now.
Do they?
Well, they do snaps, or they do this, which is just like clock it. Yeah, nice. This is just nice because it doesn't
it's so
make
nice
it
to
too
have a
much
youngster
noise
on the team, isn't it, Mike?
Well, I'm not Gen Z. I'm millennial, so I still prefer a clap. But I thought I would just do that.
Okay. Right. I feel like we've been going for 50 minutes, and this is now nearly a kilowatt full hour. So shall we? I don't know.
I'm so desperate for a wee.
I'm actually can't. I need to go and stand in the cool air of the garden. So please forgive us if we sign off now. Should we sign off?
Yes.
Yes. Did we get just before we go? Did we get anyone shouting at us for our goodbye from last week?
We did. Yeah. Some people seem to like it. I don't know whether that means we should repeat it, but.
What did you do? What was last week's goodbye?
The week before, when the three of us did the podcast, we had a lot of goodbye, and it was very mixed. The reaction was very mixed.
Bye then.
Goodbye. Okay. Anyway, should we wrap up in a slightly more professional way? I can see the heat's getting to us. Thank you for joining us. As always, drop your comments in the comments below, and we couldn't do the show without them. So please email us at podcast@electrifying.com. Drop a comment, do all the things that Nicola said you need to do.
All
those things she said earlier.
All the apps.
And we'll download an app, and we'll be back next time. And thank you for listening. And we wish you well, wherever you are in the world.
Bye-bye.
You do.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye then.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye then.